Hello everyone, I'm Melissa Arsani Putri. Now let me explain to you all guys about analytical psychology from Gustav Jung. Right, here we go, level of the psyche. Like a Freud, Jung based the theory of psyche that the mind and soul have conscious and unconscious levels. Unlike Freud, Jung emphasized that conscious is personal experience, while the unconscious is not from individual's experience, but from the past. Yang emphasized that the important part of a person unconscious is not from personal experience but from human existence in the past, where this concept is called the collective unconscious. Okay, first, conscious or ego. Conscious thing can be felt by the ego. The ego is the center of consciousness but not the core of the personality. For example, when the person asked me, "Who are you?" So I answer the question is based on the ego. And unconscious element have nothing to do with the ego. Unconsciousness play a relatively minor role in analytical psychology. And excessive emphasis on conscious can use psychological imbalance, reference to a person's tendency to pay too much attention or think about every decision or action they take, causing stress and bipolar. And a healthy individual is called individuation. Right, the second is personal unconscious experience that were once released but forgotten or put aside for a certain reason, especially because they were unpleasant. And our personal unconscious is formed by our personal or individual experience. Some image or memorize in the personal unconscious are easy to remember, some are difficult, and some are far from the reach of human consciousness. For example, like memorize and the lower word personal consciousness includes memorize that can be suppressed for certain reasons such as pleasant or traumatic part experience. And the third, collective unconscious. Conscious and concept the individuals inherit or execute from generation to generation. Young said we do not absolutely inherit inherited characters. We only inherit some of them and carry a tendency to respond to certain experience and in a special way. Sometimes the tendency arise spontaneously whenever their experience stimulates biologically inherited response tendencies. For example, like such as young mother who suddenly reaction with love and tenderness toward her newborn baby, even though she first previously had negative and natural feelings toward the baby. And four is archetypes. These archetypes originate from the collective unconscious. Archetype refers to patterns, themes, image, thoughts, behavior, emotions. They are passed down from generation to generation. Yang described dream as example of evidence of archetypes because the patterns of every human being are the same as those of previous people or descendants. And then this is archetype includes first persona. Persona is taken from Latin which means must use the theater actors and the side of personality that people shout to the world or public society. And persona connects a personality with their environment, which is used to act in accordance with the demands of the social environment. But if someone is to identify with the persona, then The person will lose their inner self and tend to conform to social expectation. For example, like a political, doctors, and idol. Then the second is shadow, is the dark side or the dark side of human beings. And shadow cannot be controlled by the ego, where shadow is a negative element. The dark side that we don't want to admit and tend to hide from ourselves and others. And we must be able to recognize our shadow because otherwise we can be controlled by the shadow itself, so we cannot change for the better. For example, anger, great crime is example from shadow. And the third is anima, the feminine side of man. Psycho, Psychologically, bisexual humans have a masculine and feminine side. The feminine side, the form is man, is in the form of gentleman and warm and affection. And anima makes a man develop the sensitive side of his original character. And for is animus, the masculine side of woman. The animus is symbol of thought and reasoning. He is able to influence a woman's thought, but is it not actually his? And animus makes women grow into a strong leader, able to think logically, independently, and bravely. And the five is great mother. Every man and woman has the great mother archetype. This concept is always associated with positive and negative feelings, and image with opposing force, namely he produces and mentally, but he destroy. For example, like Yang saw his own mother as having two personalities, one loving and nurturing, while the other side was insane and cruel. And six, wise old man. Wise wise old man is to be associated with the father or great father. There is wisdom in humans, and this figure often action like a mentor or counselor who give guidelines to individuals in a self-searching journey. And seven is hero. Hero is depicted in mythology and legend is very strong person. Sometimes even depicted is a demigod who fight to conquer or divide evil in the form of dragons or a monster. However, according to Jung, in the end, they are often divided by someone or something trivial. For example, like Achilles, the brave hero of the Trojan War, was killed by an arrow in his heel. And then self is also called we have become a complete or perfect individuals. The main symbol is the mandala named the collective unconscious struggle from unity, balance, and wholeness. And then next dynamic of personality. First is our causality and teleology. Causality is a cause and effect that shape one personality including past experience, while teleology is emphasizing a purpose for a future that direct one destiny. In short, the causality of past experience, environment, or kinetic factors the form that form the basis of the personality affecting the individuals unconsciously into the teleology, taking the individual to higher development and self-actualization. And then this is these are progress and regression. Progress referring to a developing personality that moves forward for self-grown. As individuals progress, they develop new abilities, expand and strengthen aspect of their personality. And recreation takes place in response to stressful or down situation through the individual's recreation experience of gaining new knowledge and thus improving and again progressing toward self-actualization. And the next psychological types. First is attitude. Uh, First, introvert soul energy that turn inward with a subjective orientation, namely those who tend to focus on their own thoughts and feelings, like to be alone and have a small circle of friends. And the second is extrovert soul energy that looks outward with an objective orientation, namely those who tend to enjoy socializing. Extroverts feel that their social activities provide energy. And then there's function. Function is like MBTI, and every part of function, like a thinking, feeling, sensing, and intuiting, is the intubation has introvert and extrovert side. And then the development of personality, stage of development. This stage is like to the journey of the sun from sunrise to sunset. Okay, and the first is childhood, divided into three, namely anarchy, monarchies, and dualistic. Anarchy from 0 until 6 years old. This stage is characterized by awareness that tend to be caustic and sporadic, where children are still trying to understand the world around them. And monarchies from 6 until 8 years old, the stage is marked by the ego starting to develop and children starting to think logically and verbally. They see themselves as the third person. And the last dualistic from 8 until 12 years old, this stage is marked by the division of the ego into two, namely objective and subjective. At this stage, awareness continues to develop. The children now see themselves as the first person and begin to recognize themselves as individuals who are different from other person or people. And then second is youth, lasts from puberty to mind age. This is age is the age of finding a soulmate, raising a family, and yes, period of increased metrosexual activity, growing worse, and difficult fights by youth tend to live like children and avoid first improperly current life. And the third is middlehood, straying from age 35 until 40. At this age, the need for spiritual values appears, namely needs that have always been part of the soul but at a young age are put aside because at the age they are not interested at materialistic value. And the for old age, at this age awareness decreases, like the sunlight decreases at dusk. This is this age is marked by the sinkings of the subconscious. At this age, you already feel the fear of death, and this is normal. And the last is self realization, the process of becoming a complete individuals. And in the concept of analytical psychology, self realization is effort to strive toward perfection or individuation. And to accept self realization, a person must adapt to only their external environment but also the world within themselves. Alright. Alright, thank you everyone.